start this video, I come at you with an apology. Now, I did say that I was going to be doing a vlog for Eurogamer, and unfortunately, I don't really have enough footage to make one. We were having far too much fun playing games and just meeting up with guys that I'd never seen before, but of course who I know, like Matt the Musketeer, Charboy, Phil, Matt, Paulie. All those guys were brilliant, but we never really got any filming done. However, quite a few of us did take some good pictures, so I've decided to put them in a little slideshow in the bottom left corner for now, and they'll just roll around until all the pictures are finished, just so you guys have a good indication of what went on at Eurogamer. But I'm pretty much about to tell you the Battlefield 4 experience that we had anyway. So, most of you will probably know by now that the map we were actually playing was Zavod 311, which was a previously unreleased map, and we were playing on the Xbox One. The two modes that were available were Conquest and Obliteration. So of course the first thing we did is pretty much held our press passes up and jumped straight into the Obliteration queue to get on that game. And I have to say, I was a little bit underwhelmed by the game mode in general. The general idea of the game mode is that you have your own 3 bases to protect and you have 3 bases to attack. But there's only one bomb site on the map at any one time, so your team has to go and get that bomb, take it to an enemy base and then blow their bomb site up. When you've blown up all 3 of their bomb sites, you win, or vice versa. If they blow yours up, they win. The thing I didn't like though is the fact that because you were always focusing on that one bomb, it really detracted from any sort of team-based gameplay, because you all just sort of got hot in the head and ran straight for the bomb to try and get it. And that meant that you missed out half the map as well, because you were just simply running to one point or driving to one point in a helicopter, whatever. You weren't really paying attention to what was going on around you, you just simply had tunnel vision for that bomb. And I suppose that leads me onto the map in general, really. And it is a really, really good map. I really enjoy playing on it, especially in Conquest mode, which I'll get onto in a second. And the fact it looks so good, and it was in 720p as well. Well, that hardly made a difference, and I'll get onto that as well. But the map reminded me of Pipeline from Call of Duty 4. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but the smooth 60 FPS sort of led me back to that as well with the Xbox One, playing COD 4 in 60 FPS. That was a really good time. And then if you add Keosar Railroad in there with all the pine trees and the sunlight, etc. And then inside the buildings was quite a lot like scrap metal. So for me, it was a really good map. In terms of combat for this map, you're probably looking at infantry combat, which is obviously a given with any map in Battlefield. You've got air combat in the form of helicopters. There weren't any jets available to play in this map. Having said that, it wasn't the biggest map in the world. But yeah, there's definitely some helicopter combat. I saw scout helicopters and transport helicopters. Not sure about the attack helicopter though. There were some ground vehicles that you could utilise. Of course, there were MBTs, LAVs, etc. There was also the new MRAP, which is the giant, massive sort of Humvee replacement for the US forces. I have to say, the game didn't sound finished because I did honk the horn and it had a really high-pitched horn. And considering the size of the vehicle, I expected something a lot deeper. So it's obvious that the game for that map at least still isn't quite finished, but obviously they're going to be tweaking it during the beta anyway. So I'm kind of thinking we're nearly there now. But I think the main focus of this map is definitely infantry combat, because running for the bomb, it's kind of sort of a ground thing. You've got to be able to sort of stay stealthy, because of course once you pick the bomb up, you're visible on the minimap for the entirety of the time of you holding that bomb. I'm not sure if you can drop it, I didn't really test that, but apparently they were going to add the ability in for you to drop the bomb, which would have been quite cool. But you need to move quickly and you need to try and move as stealthily as possible, because you are on that minimap at all times. So now moving on to the hardware that we were actually playing on, I was quite impressed with the Xbox One, I have to say. We were only playing in 720p, which of course isn't as great as 1080p, but I couldn't tell a huge amount of difference, really, to be honest. Because it's that massive step forward in graphical capabilities, the textures actually look like textures rather than just a muddy water painting. It made such a massive difference, and of course throwing the 60 FPS in there, I can see why DICE chose to focus on 60 FPS instead of 1080p, because it makes a massive difference to gameplay. For me, playing on PC, I kind of take sort of 60 FPS for granted, I suppose. So when I picked up the Xbox One controller and started playing in 60 FPS with the controller in my hand, I was like, this feels really good. So if you are in the market for an Xbox One or a PS4, you're not going to be disappointed with the graphical quality of Battlefield 4. Trust me, it looks really good. One more thing I did just want to highlight, I didn't really talk about Conquest very much. The map isn't massive, but it's just about the right size. You're never more than about 150, 175 metres from a flag. It's a 5 flag Conquest layout. So it felt really sort of a true Battlefield map, and of course you've got helis in there, you've got ground vehicles, infantry combat, you've got the Levolution, which is one of the factory towers actually smashing down. It's actually got a 3-minute timer on it, and you can turn that on and then it blows itself up, so after the 3 minutes you can actually sort of topple it. And I think we were told that you could actually stop the timer as well, which meant if you wanted to stop the Levolution, you could do that. So for me, playing Battlefield 4 on the next generation consoles, we'll just assume that the Xbox One sort of works for both sides, whereas because with the PS4 you're going to expect similar results anyway. For me, it was a really good experience, and anybody who's sort of looking to go for a next generation console, do it, because it's on par with PC now with 60 FPS. The fact that it's in 720p doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I could see a difference, but if you're playing on console, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to tell a difference between 720 and 1080p. The gameplay felt really smooth. I have to say the in-game voice chat was crystal clear on the Xbox One. It was like having a Skype conversation with the 5 people that were standing next to me. Of course, we had the Pixel Enemy crew, me, Matt the Musketeer, Mac the Gun, Phil, Paulie, Charboy and Azzy were there as well, and we were all playing in a massive line. And the quality of the audio that was coming through is just so much better than current generation consoles. It's actually going to allow you to be a squad. So all in all, it was a great experience, and it looks as if my last video, New Beginnings, is actually going to become true, because all of the different consoles and platforms it's actually on, except current generation consoles, because we just know that's not going to be very good. But if you've got an Xbox One, PS4 or PC, I can see the argument of being a PC elitist die away for Battlefield 4 at least, because the graphical capabilities on every single platform is much closer than it's ever been before, and the difference is still noticeable, but if you're just an average gamer, it doesn't make any difference to you. So for the Battlefield community at least, I can see Battlefield 4 being an amazing game, and everybody will enjoy it. I do have 2 exclusive Battlefield 4 posters to give away from Eurogamer. I'm going to be giving one away here on YouTube and one on my Twitter page. So if you aren't following me on Twitter, I recommend you do. So my Twitter handle has just come up at the bottom of the screen there. So just go and follow that, and I'll be doing a competition on Twitter. But here on YouTube, I'm just going to be sort of giving it away to a random subscriber. Whoever comments on this video, you're going to be in with the chance of actually winning it, and I'll just pick somebody random. But that is the end of the video, guys, so if you did enjoy it, likes and comments are always appreciated. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.